Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel. It is Chris back once again, host of this week's starting 11 prediction. I think this week Eddie Howe has a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of choices coming his way, and just about nearly everywhere on the field as Newcastle welcome Wolverhampton Wanderers to St James's Park. It's the first home game back since that Carabao Cup defeat. So, fingers crossed, atmosphere will be buzzing. Fans will be right behind the lads, just like we have been all season. But let's get straight into it, down to business with my starting 11 prediction. So, in goal, as always, it's going to be Nick Pope. If Nick Pope is available, he's always going to be starting. First choice goalkeeper for a reason. Yes, at the last three games have been three defeats in a row. One was that Carabao Cup final, which Nick Pope wasn't involved in. Then obviously defeats to Liverpool and Manchester City. Nick Pope didn't really do anything wrong. I'm saying really didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. Deflections going past him in that Man City game. It is what it is. So yeah, Nick Pope starts in goal. Now, defence. This is where Eddie Howe has a few decisions to be made. A lot of fans looking at that left-hand side and realising that the opposition are targeting left-back position with Dan Burn. Dan Burn has played most of his games at left back in the Premier League, that is. Just a few weeks ago, before the build up to the Liverpool game, I believe it was, he mentioned that he prefers playing at centre back. Will Eddie Howe look at that now and think maybe we need to switch things up a little bit with Matt Target getting back to match fitness? I think he probably will stick with Dan Burn for this one. We know that Matt Target has been making some appearances off the bench as of late, and I think he'll probably get a lot more minutes under his belt this game. I think we'll probably will see Matt Target come on, give him 20 minutes, depending on the scoreline that is. But I think he will stick with Dan Burn to start with. Centre back position. Fabian Shaw missed the last game because of the 7-day rule with concussion injuries. So Jamal Lascelles comes in, wears that captain's armband as he did, and Jamal Lascelles done very well against Haaland in that Manchester City game. So Eddie Howe must be looking at this one thinking, do I stick with Jamal Lascelles because he done such a good job, or do you look at bringing Fabian straight back into that starting 11 because the partnership which he has had with Sven Botman is second to none, really. Does Eddie Howe try new things? I personally think he'll probably go back to Fabian Shaw. I'm not confident on that one. I think it's anybody's guess at this moment, but I think he probably will go back to how things were with the partnership in Sven Botman and Fabian Shaw. But don't need to say much about Sven because he's just absolutely fantastic, amazing. So he's always going to have that starting spot. Right back, once again, fans of looking at Kieran Trippier and thinking, since the World Cup, you haven't been playing as well as what you were prior to the tournament. But there's no debate about it. Tripp starts for me. More balls in the box. I think more screaming for that. Bad delivery from set pieces. I think it'll come. So yeah, Tripp starts for me. And wears that captain's armband in the absence of Jamal. Centre of the field, we do already know that Joelinton will be missing this for this one. Picked up his 10th yellow card of the season. Wasn't happy about that yellow card, but he deserved it. So he misses 2 games now. This being the first one of those 2. So I think we'll stick with the likes of Sean Longstaff and Bruno. Bruno's obviously going to start. Then on the left-hand side of the field, I think Joe Willock comes back into the team. Joe Willock had a decent game when he came on as a sub against Manchester City. The game changed when the likes of Maxi, Joe Willock, and Isaac came on the field. So I think Willock starts. I think he deserves that chance now. In the absence of Joelinton, Willock's just a natural fit for that left-hand side of the field. We've seen what him and Joe done previously, how they can fill in that left-hand side, even drop in deep when asked upon as well. So no-brainer for me. Willock comes into the starting 11. Next up, once again, another position on the field that's up for debate, and I think a lot of fans are torn on this one. Personally, for me, I was shocked to see that Maxi had been dropped for the Manchester City game. I thought he had done really well against Liverpool. He done well against Manchester United in that cup final. So I was really shocked. I would like to see Maxi start this one. I think the last handful of games, and I've just mentioned the impact that Joe Willock had coming on the field against City. Maxi, exactly the same. Great impact. So for me, I would love to see Maxi start on the left hand side. You never know. It all depends what's happening in training this week. If he's trained well, if there's any sort of slight knocks or anything like that, or does Eddie go with Gordon, who started the last game? Like I said, personally for me, Maxi starts that one. I would love to see Maxi run our teams. I think how direct he is taking players on, I think we need it right now. We need a result on the board, so let's go at it at Wolves. So yeah, Maxi starts for me. Right hand side of the field, I'm giving Miggy another shot at this one, and I think a lot of fans will agree with us that Miggy's dropped in form. I'm saying form as in goal scoring. I think Miggy had such a great run scoring goals, and none of us seen that coming. And now that the goals have dried up, we're looking at it and saying, yes, you're working hard, but we need a little bit more than that. We need assists, we need goals. So for me, I think Miggy gets another shot at this one. Obviously with Bruno back in the team, Trippier, let's hope that partnership that the three of those have been forming just works really well, and how it was prior to the World Cup break. Um, I would like Miggy to use both feet. We know that when it gets on that right hand side, it does slow down sometimes. Complete opposite of what it was like just a handful of months ago. But yeah, opposition being Wolves, I would like to see Miggy get another shot at it. Up top, this is where I want change. Callum Wilson's had plenty of opportunities since the winter break, since the World Cup, and he hasn't impressed whatsoever. And it's not just goal scoring; it's his all round game. I'm not sure if he's carrying an injury, an illness, or what it is, lack of confidence. We saw he had a great chance against City and just completely scuffed that one, mistimed the shot completely. So I need change up there, and I want change up there. And I mentioned before, Willock and Maxi done really well when they came on the last game. So for me, Isaac starts. I think we'll probably will have a lot of the ball against Wolves. So I would love to see the partnership of Bruno, Isaac, and Maxi and Willock as well. The four lads there, I think there could be some form of creativity and chemistry between those. So yeah, I'm going with Isaac up top. Fingers crossed that he gets a goal. I think he's done really well, and his footwork in tight positions has been second to none. And he's looked impressive and lightning when he's came on the field. So yeah, Isaac starts for me. Match prediction and scoreline prediction. We need a result here. It's three defeats on the bounce now, and I know there have been against really good opposition, the likes of the teams that will probably look at them and think you're light years ahead of us in regards to this project that Newcastle are on and this journey. But I think Wolves should be a team that we're looking at and looking at scoring a few goals and dominating the game. They may sit back, but even if they do, I think we should have enough. I know they had a decent result just last week. And if we look at reverse fixture in the season, it was a draw was ones each, two great goals. Maxi got one of those goals in the last minute. But it was a game that we played really well in. Story of the season at the minute. But I think I'm going to go with Newcastle 2, Wolves 0. I think we'll just have a bit too much for them. And we need to start scoring goals. The goals have dried up, and that's everywhere on the field. We had been blessed really with a amount of different goal scorers earlier in the season, and it's dried up everywhere on the field. Everybody's struggling at the moment. So yeah, 2-0 Newcastle United, and I think Isaac will get one of those at least. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you do like this sort of stuff, you can just subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to us. We're pushing 10,000 at the moment. If you just want to like the video, it helps us out massively. If you want to give a little extra bit back, you can do so. Become a member. Just click on the join button below. It is just $2.99 a month, less than a pint in most pubs in town. So yeah, help us out a little bit. Give a little bit back. Just $2.99 a month. You get early access. You get access to the Telegram group, which is just a hub for Newcastle United fans to have a chat with and just debate as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Fingers crossed, Newcastle United win coming. See you next time.